Wow, whoever thought that we would be sat here doing a podcast with Villa live Champions League draw, Jacob? Absolutely unbelievable. I know since you joined the Villa team, to be fair, it's been pretty rosy, but a lot of people who will be watching this now have sat through some rubbish on my channel. Me talking about losing to Barnsley 3-1 at Villa Park, me standing outside Villa Park in the rain, talking nonsense with people. To think where we are now, the Champions League draw. This is absolutely incredible stuff for me, anyway. Probably is for you as well, Jacob. But as a Villa fan, this is majestic.
Yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it? In terms of just who Villa could play, the places you could go, just a general sense that obviously Villa in the Champions League. I found it really exciting, the Conference League last year with, the European anthems, but this is obviously the top tier. This is the blue chip competition, and yeah, I'm just excited now to see who Villa get.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let people know on social media that we're actually on, and surprisingly, I mean, this is typical. I can't believe it's working, but I've literally just found out that Jacob and I are 15 minutes away from each other. So with some better planning between us, we could have probably done this in person at Sky or something, which would have looked a lot more aesthetically pleasing than what we're cobbling together now, Jacob.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't be in this cricket jumper, and you would have your bed in the background, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to question the attire for those listening. I mean, this will go out on audio as well, but I can't imagine that many people are going to go back and listen to us talk for probably what's going to be an hour and a half to listen to us talk through a Champions League draw. But if you're watching live, I imagine this is the best way to watch. Anyway, people aren't going to go back and listen to this because they'd know exactly who we have. I'm still trying to, by the way, tweet out that we're live, tweet out the live feed that's going on Twitter. There we are. I'm there. I'm reposting. I've done my stuff I needed to do now, Jacob. Great to see some people in the chat as well, just to run you through what we're doing here. So I'm where I am, Jacob's where he is. We've both got the Champions League draw up. One of my football heroes on my feed is just making his way to the stage, Gianluigi Buffon. Jacob's got it on as well. We imagine there's probably a little bit of a delay. I'm watching on my phone. The hotel Wi-Fi, the speeds I was getting looked pathetic, yet for some reason it seems to be better than when I do podcasts in my house where I pay for expensive Wi-Fi. So if there is any technical issues at any point, do let us know in the chat. But we have got a producer sat in for the first 45 minutes or so. Jacob, in my previous experience of watching these draws, they take a long time. They could be a lot quicker, couldn't they? But I always like to see Buffon on the stage.
Yeah, he's still in decent nick, isn't he? He only retired last year. But there's plenty of backslapping, isn't there, in these type of competitions? Not just among the crowd and the delegates, but just talking in cliches and how great the competition is. It does feel like it can be condensed into a shortened period. And I guess also there's 4 more teams in it this year, so it's going to be even more complex. And they're going to explain the system, how they're drawing the teams out as well. So it's going to take a while, I think. Buckle up.
Mobley is asking in the comments. I knew it wouldn't be long before we got asked to talk about transfers. We will talk about transfers, but we just can't put a little bit of colour around the Champions League draw. I'm tired of transfers. I've been doing transfers all week at Sky. I want to talk about something else. I want to bask in the Champions League glory. I mean, Buffon's up there on the stage at the moment talking about his career. I mean, in 15, 20 years' time, Jacob, I mean, John McGinn could be up there talking about that season he won the Champions League with Aston Villa Football Club, couldn't it? You laugh, but it could happen.
It could happen. I'll tell you what, if he does, and yeah, Sir John McGinn, I think it'd be great. It'd be interesting to see what John McGinn looks like in 20 years, right? I'm not sure how
look quite the same. I would maybe just grey. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's the type of guy that will let himself go once he retires or not. But yeah, if you're in a good nick as Buffon is, then I think he's done well there, hasn't he? Is he using hair dye, do you think, Dan? Or
I mean, yeah, he's got to be someone who will need to use it themselves in the next few years. I'm looking at that thinking he's about 7 years older than me, Buffon. He must be using hair dye. Same with Mikel Arteta. I presume he's using hair dye as well. Great to have so many people in the chat. There's an element of this that I will be producing later, which is a problem, but I actually can't see how many people are live with us at the moment on what I'm using. So hopefully, can you say?
Oh, I can check my phone if you want me to.
Yeah, go on, Jack.
And also, just to answer Richard Houston's question, I'm a batter who's got 3 ducks and 4 innings as well, so not ideal.
I was going to say a few people probably bowled over by Jacob's outfit for this one. It really is a tremendous cricket jumper, Jacob.
It's supposed to be a casual fit, but I don't think it's giving that vibe.
No, I mean Jacob's in a very nice part of the world as well. Actually, I imagine a lot of people walk around in that kind of attire where Jacob is, because it's a very posh place. So they're saying that I'm in the Hilton at the moment, on at 7 a.m. in the morning. So I've got to be at Sky at 4 a.m. and they've put me up in a Hilton, and I'm the only one that's been put up in a Hilton, which I don't really understand why. Everyone else is in a slightly lesser hotel.
Well, like travel lodges. What is your agent
They're
negotiating something for you, Dan?
they're Novotel, so they're not bad, but they're not as good as the hotel that I'm in, Jacob. And I was here last night as well. This is just, I'm in my element here in the Hilton, watching Villa in the Champions League draw. Other than being there, maybe it doesn't get much better than this. I don't know.
How long have you been excited about this draw for?
Oh, since we qualified.
Have you had it on the calendar?
No, you know what? I actually forgot earlier on the week because I've been so engrossed in what I'm doing this week, and I've been so busy. I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, it's the Champions League draw today. But as the day went on, I realised it was, and I'll give him a shout out because he's live as well at the moment. Neil Dunworth on the For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. He asked if anyone wanted to pop on his and do a live, so I nicked his idea basically, and I've done the same on my own podcast. But I'm sure there's plenty of Villa podcasts that are live at this current time. Do let us know if you're skiving work in the chat.
Why is Ronaldo gone up for? Dan?
He's getting a special award.
Is that just to make him feel good? Because I know obviously recently he's had a tough time with being out of the limelight. And
I mean, he's never out of the limelight. He's started a YouTube channel.
But well, have you seen any of that YouTube channel?
I haven't watched any of it. I did see there was an Athletic article saying
really good.
We've watched Ronaldo's YouTube so that you don't have to, which I was going to read, and I haven't.
It's a really good piece. It's funny.
No. I've just had a very big piece of disappointing news in the it's coming in from a few people now. Romano saying Gertrude is going to Leipzig. Not really what I wanted to hear. We may as well talk transfers, I suppose, before the draw starts. This isn't good news, Jacob.
Yeah, it's not good news. So I think we reported before we went live here that Gertrude to Villa is unlikely, purely because Villa haven't got the budget anymore. It's stretched. Obviously, a PSR and everything else they've had to do is stretched, and they haven't had to. They've not been able to move on some of the players, and to get to the valuation finals, they would have to do a lot more. So it's disappointing, and Villa can't stretch there. So it wasn't ruled out completely, but it was extremely unlikely.
Super. So what you're telling me is tomorrow when I'm working deadline day, I'm probably not going to be talking about Villa.
I don't think you will. You might talk about a few outgoings. I think keep an eye on Dendoncker and Anderlecht. Maybe it's not exactly the most
exciting, Jacob.
It's not most exciting, is it? Maybe a loan out or something. One of the younger defenders going out on loan. But really, yeah, I'd be surprised if there was anything else happening. But yeah, it feels a bit odd, doesn't it? I just think Carl Thomas, you said there's no backup for Powell. I think the plan, quickly to answer that, is for Sil Swinkles to be the backup until Mings is fit.
Really? But it's a big ask, though, isn't it?
Swinkles still could go on loan, but I think it was dependent on whether they got another defender in.
What about Bogard?
Bogard as well, but I think in terms of Swinkles, he's that left-footed profile, which Emery always seems to love.
That makes sense. I've noticed for squad numbers enthusiasts out there that Bogard has been moved up to 26, the new John Terry.
Well, so Villa didn't announce the squad numbers, did they?
I mean, Villa don't do lots of things, Jacob. They didn't announce the youth players that had not been renewed either. So, it's not a massive surprise. But if you go to buy a shirt, as I went to buy the away one yesterday and actually didn't go through with it in the end, but I'll do it tomorrow. Bogard 26 was in there.
Right. You weren't tempted for the John Duran 9?
Probably not. Well, when I got to Sky this morning, suddenly one of the things in the running order is that you can't rule out Chelsea coming back in for John Duran, which isn't a massive surprise to me, but I don't see that happening at this point.
No, surely not. In terms of who are you going to bring in, right?
Anything's possible with Chelsea, but if Villa aren't getting a Felix type, because obviously we know that they were in for Felix, then you can't say that they'd let anyone go. They just can't. They'd be short. Yeah,
Felix was the backup for Diaby, not for Duran. And you think Felix as well? You could say that Villa are short anyway, because Felix didn't come. But I think Villa's argument would be the case of that Jacobs Ramsey's back fit now, which means that they can now move Morgan Rogers into that Diaby position. But yeah,
there's enough players that can play in the 10.
There's enough players. Yeah, Brent, you got to remember as well, Buendia and stuff.
Buendia, that's fair.
But at the same time, a bit similar to Mings, you don't know how they're going to be when they come back, and it might take a few months for them to get going. Maybe Villa, I know they've started off reasonably well in the first couple of games. Maybe they'll be better in the second half of the season, but who knows?
I think I do think numbers-wise we're okay, and the problem is we're pretty much at our max in terms of Champions League registration, aren't we? And it's no good not being able to register someone who's in your first team squad. It's not good for the dressing room, not good for morale. So if Carlos had moved out, then we probably would have been able to get Gertruda in, but that hasn't happened. So if Villa do go with what they've got, I can see that there'll be some frustration. I think Villa make a rod for their own back a little bit because they get their business done so early. And then because for the last month of the transfer window, when we're talking about everyone else, we're not involved, it kind of annoys fans a little bit. But you have to remember that we got business done earlier, but Baranachaya still might go out. Now all the players have gone out on loan. If Baranachaya were to go as well, we have actually only added 4 players to our squad, but you'd think injuries aren't going to be as bad as last year. Buendia and Mings are back in the fray. Kamara should be back soon, hopefully, as well. We are okay numbers-wise, and I prefer the club just didn't buy players for the sake of it. I do really, really respect that they don't do that, and that Emery would rather coach what he has.
Yeah, I agree. And with Baranachea as well, that's an odd one, isn't it? Because yesterday Villa was saying that he wasn't going to be leaving. They decided to keep him despite initial conversations with Valencia, and all of a sudden today they've changed. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, like you said, I've wrote a piece for probably next week in terms of out of the 8 signings, if you include Cameron Archer, really, how many kind of come straight into the team? You could probably say, Maatsen and Onana, and then with Barkley and Philogene as backups. So, I think because obviously the signings got done early in the window, that's quite exciting. But at the same time, he's probably giving you a little bit of a lull towards the second half of the window, but also Villa are still pretty light in defence, aren't they? That's where I think the big area is.
I still think we're stronger than we were last season. If I look at numbers of depth and kind of quality, yeah.
You think, but Villa haven't replaced Longley, and I know he wasn't that great, but
he was Mings' replacement, wasn't he? So I think.
Yeah, but Mings is not fit. It's a risk, isn't it? Because he's not going to be fit till. Obviously, people say next month, but he's not going to be fully fit. Maybe till January, to be fully up to speed with everything.
You'd suddenly be in a bit of trouble if Konsa or Torres was to get injured.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I don't want to bring that into the world because I've done that before, but
maybe you can look at even Bouba Kamara's played right back at times in his
centre
career
back as well,
and centre back. So maybe you could parachute that guy in there, but at the same time he's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh
God, you're dragging
anyway, sorry.
Should be enjoying the Champions League draw here. You've actually got me worried. Gertruda, I'm not convinced if he'd have replaced Carlos, for example, he arguably would have been even shorter at centre back. So I'm not convinced he can play centre back in a 2. More of a right back kind of coming in.
Yeah, he is. And it's a bit like while they showed interest in Joe Gomez early in the window, they're more like that type of centre back, right back, back 3 guy. Yeah, and also for Gertrude as well, the money they wanted, Villa can't. I don't think Villa can stretch to that now. So,
I mean, the chat's moved further away from. Yeah, here we go. And how could we have potentially afforded Felix but not Gertrude, Jacob? It's aimed at you, so I don't have to answer it. So that's good.
Well, also at that time as well in the window, Diego Carlos looked like he was on his way out, right? And that would have freed up a big chunk of the wages, and you would have got good some money for him. So I think that's obviously changed it. And also, they've not been able to move out Dendoncker yet or other players. So I think that was the issue, and that's why it took so long with Felix. And they couldn't get a deal done because obviously the structure of the agreement wasn't ready and wasn't complete.
Nearly 2,000 people, Jacob, watching.
Really?
Live. Wow. Yeah, I realised the number was there the whole time. I just wasn't looking at the right place. I'll give it a little breakdown. We've got 1,730 on Twitter, 44 on Facebook, and 219 on YouTube. 0 on Twitch. I didn't even know we went out on Twitch, so that's no surprise that there's 0 people going on there.
Also, Dan, maybe the Colombian they've signed, Mosquera, he's over in Real Union already now, so he'll have a season out there. So maybe he could be the defender that Villa want next season.
Well, so not this season if he's not there.
We're thinking long term, maybe.
Yeah. I did wonder why Bogart hadn't gone out on loan, to be honest. He looked quite good in pre-season. I feel like he's got the mentality to make the step up. I don't know as much about Sil Swinkles in fairness. And obviously you've said the left-footed thing, but
About Sil Swinkles, I'll have a piece on it probably next week. But when he was injured, he had that big injury last year. He was part of the first team doing an analysis of the first team, and they were showing him clips of Pau Torres, and I think, and he did his rehab with the first team as well, which is a pretty big deal because I think he would have probably been expected to do his rehab with the 21s, but I think Emery's coaching staff really quite liked him, and they wanted to include him in all the plans. So yeah, I think he's highly rated. It's obviously an option he could go on loan, but if they just prefer to keep Bogard, but yeah, I wouldn't have any concerns about playing him, a Carabao Cup game, for example, at Wickham.
Yeah, Hazard FC saying Chalobah on loan, maybe. I've got to say,
I like that a lot.
That's run through my mind as well because he's ideal to do what Conser did last season, but then we get to keep Conser at centre back.
Yeah, but Emery's trying to move away, isn't he? He said the other day he's trying to move away from playing centre back to right back, which kind of puts himself in a bit of a sticky situation.
Well, especially with Cash currently unavailable. I thought we really missed Matty Cash actually when he went off against us. I know people give him stick and whatnot, but I actually thought he was a big miss when he went off against Arsenal. Suddenly got a frog in my throat from absolutely nowhere. Seems to be some kind of VT playing for those that aren't watching the draw at the same time.
What's this VT gone on for?
It looks like there's some sensational acting going on. There's all the stars of the world game over the years are in there, aren't there? There's so many different players I've seen pop up on my screen. I've seen Figo, Buffon.
Figo turns up to every UEFA event, though, doesn't he? Figo's the staple of this.
I mean, he probably gets paid very handsomely for doing it. I mean, if they asked me to go there, not that they would. I'm sure I would. Look, I mean, the guy. I don't know who that guy is. Is he the head of UI for that guy?
Yeah.
He looked very proud there, didn't he? Very proud of what's been put together. Very proud of his work. Who's Buffon? I've got to be honest.
Is he doing the draw, Buffon? Or
I thought I saw Robbie Keane at one point as well, by the way. Buffon must be doing the draw. Oh yeah, he is. Just look, the balls are out now.
Ronaldo's still there.
That's what she said. The balls are out now. So
let me get my charge quick.
Oh, Jacob's gonna go and get his charger. I'll be on a sticky wicket if Jacob doesn't come back soon. Is there any cricket puns I can get into the show? I can tell he's fuming with that over there. Because I know he can still hear me because he's not got headphones on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. Then, oh God, what time is the draw? Tony B. Good question because it's 5:22 now, and I think the draw hasn't started. And Jacob reliably informed me earlier it's 20 minutes per pot.
Oh, here we go. Who's forgive me? This is the UEFA delegate, right? Yeah.
This is Giorgio Marchetti, the UEFA Deputy General Secretary.
Where's the senior guy?
Yeah, Simon Kelly saying we're behind on the UEFA stream.
Probably.
Can't really do much about that. In fairness, we're doing things that wouldn't have been possible 30 years ago. Here, Simon Kelly, we're streaming live on YouTube whilst watching the Champions League draw on the phone. There's definitely a delay. I'm watching on Sky Go. There's definitely a delay. But I imagine most people have got it. But it's more about the reaction here. We're not here to break the news of who Villa are again. We're here to react to the news. If you haven't got a way of watching it, then I suppose it won't be spoilt for you because you're watching us, and we'll verbally tell you who's coming out on the draw. Should we run through the format? I couldn't tell you the format of the draw, but from Football Manager, I'm quite well versed in how the new format works. Jacob,
yeah, go on and go for it.
You understand it?
Just in case I've read it. I've read it. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Right, so there'll be how many teams is it? Is it 36 or 30?
36.
Good start. 36 teams in the Champions League this season. So basically, you will play 8 games, 4 at home, 4 away in the group stage, but they could be against anyone basically. So you'll play 2 teams from pot 1 or seed pot 1, 2 teams from pot 2. 2 teams from. I'm not doing very well here. Anyway, you'll play teams from every pot, and anyway, but you'll get a real mix of teams. But you won't play each team twice. You'll play the teams that you're drawn against once. Then the top 8 will automatically go through to the last 16. Then from 9 down to 24, you will go into a 2-legged playoff against a team from 9 to 24. I imagine it's done like 9th plays 24th. I would imagine that would make sense, but not 100% sure on that. And you'll play then a 2-legged affair, home and away, to see who qualifies for the last 16, and you'll join the aforementioned 8 teams. Pots are just on the screen now. I mean, some of the teams in pot one, Villa are going to be playing against Real Madrid. Oh, they've, just as I said it, they've took the badges of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Milan, Dortmund, Leipzig, Barcelona. Villa are probably going to be playing 2 of those teams in pot one, which is just scenes that I've never seen in my life, Jacob.
It's remarkable. Any of them you were happy with, wouldn't you? Really?
That's the thing. I'm not looking at this and thinking, "Ooh, I want to avoid that team. I want to avoid this team." I'm looking at it as in this is a big adventure. We know we're going to be playing some good teams. So, you know, it is what it is. Our producers just what's this? This stream is way ahead of producer Lee coming up trumps, sending us a better stream. Should we try and get on that?
Yeah, I'm way ahead on this stream.
Oh yeah. Well, you stay on that and tell us what's going on, and I'll get myself on the new stream. What's going on, Jacob?
Well, they're currently just it's basically explaining like how you did, how the pots work, and
Are you on pot 2? Pot 2
yeah,
being explained.
I'm on pot 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat. Simon Kelly, was it? I've remembered your name even. Let us know if we're better now, if we're not way behind. So we're saying, oh no, the sun's blaring down on my screen, so I can't see properly. I've moved my phone. It was in premium position before to see.
Just to answer some of the questions, yeah, Monchi is there. Monchi's there. Vidagani's there. Chris Heck's there, and obviously Nasser Souri's there. Yeah, Monchi. And
where's Elmer?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if he's there, but you'd think he would go instead of
Elmo putting the hard yards to every Conference League draw, and then they've got to the Champions League and they've not let him go.
Yeah, he might be there. Who knows? But he does feel a bit of a shame, doesn't it?
Yeah. Jack Baggett's asking us who would be your ideal 4 home games at Villa Park, but I can't tell you at the moment, Jack, because I haven't got the pots in front of me. So
oh, here we go. But at least in this UEFA wrap, it gives you a good layout of who's got who, doesn't it? On your right.
I've not got that. I've just got full screen on my phone.
Oh right. If you come off full screen, it'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I like this, Jacob.
It's good, isn't it? If it helps you.
I don't know. I'm not. Oh, here we go. I wouldn't mind a bit of if I had to pick 2 teams to play.
Yeah.
I think Real Madrid. You want Real Madrid or Barcelona, I think, just for the prestige.
Yeah.
2 of the biggest teams that there's ever been. I've got a sneaky feeling we'll get Juventus due to Douglas Luiz.
And there'll be no Sam Milling Jr. or Barranchia to play them.
Well, I mean, we could get Ealing Jr., couldn't we? Bologna are in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we could end up Celtic's another one I could see happening. Isn't it? I might have just realised my feed stopped. That's no good.
I like Celtic.
I was scrolling too much. I must have pressed a button. Celtic, I can see. Yeah, Bologna, Girona. Wouldn't mind
Girona would be nice, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't mind Stuttgart due to me being friends with Thomas Hitzelsberger. I'm sure he's very well connected at Stuttgart, so that would be potentially a good one for me to get myself down there.
You basically want to use him for the ticket.
I mean, I've sorted him tickets out before. We're all friends here, Jacob. We have to scroll right down to get you to get Villa down to get Villa. Look at Villa's badge, don't you? Have to go right down.
Simon Kelly says you're watching what I'm watching now. That's good.
Go on, Simon, and that's the main thing now. Simon, the customer is always right. Simon was not happy with what was occurring on this feed. He's aired his view, and we've rectified it. And you know, this is what Villa should be doing with some of the stuff that's going on at Villa Park at the moment. The customer is always right, and we've rectified the situation.
I would love Inter Milan. You know, as Christopher says, at the San Siro. I've never been there. It's always something.
Well, I see it at the San Siro as well.
Yeah.
I've actually watched Villa play Inter Milan already in my life in 1994.
Right, here are we starting now? Is this
looks like it? I mean, it's first, but it's not. You didn't really indulge me in my Inter Milan story.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That's okay. My first ever European game was Villa 1, Inter Milan 0. The first leg had been 1-0 to Inter Milan, and Villa won on penalties. That was my first ever European game.
Wow.
Who's this coming out first? Man City. Richard Hewson says.
Man City.
Yeah. Of course, they're the first out. I mean, realistically, this bit doesn't really matter, does it? Because they're just drawing out the top 8. Is it top 8 teams in the pot? Yeah, it will be. They're just drawing them out and putting 10. Hang on, what's going on here? My feed's gone dodgy. Is this Man City are playing Inter, Paris Saint-Germain, Club Brugge, Juventus, Feyenoord, Sporting, Sparta Prague, and Bratislava.
Ronaldo had to have the big he had to press the button, didn't he? There.
Yeah, have I got that right there? That's what's happening. That's Man City's thing. You know what? I fell into the trap then of expecting a group to be drawn out, even though I've just run through that it's completely different.
No, it's excellent. That's the issue for Villa as well. They're not going to they're just going to find out who they've got. Try and work out now, aren't they?
We'll find it. We'll kind of find out.
Only one by one. Yeah.
We'll still find out. We'll see us pretty early in the draw, I would imagine, because one of these teams is going to be playing us, aren't they?
Yeah, right.
Man City are done. We get Matt Hand says two teams. We'll play against 2 teams in this pot. Was that Inter? Here we go. This could be us. Could be the first mention of Aston Villa on the. We're going to find out Inter Milan's games now. Man City away. Slow. Is that supposed to be that slow? I'm sure it was faster before. I'm sure it's faster for Man City.
Oh, you see, they're worried about cyber attack, aren't they?
They're playing Arsenal and Man City into Milan, so they won't be playing us, I don't think. No. There we go. My feet's just decided to play in proper quality. Inter got some tough games there. Oh, the feed's gone again for me.
Yeah. Obviously, City and Arsenal. Is that in order? Is it? They played Leipzig first.
Yeah, I would think so.
City away and Arsenal. It's not a good go.
No, but this is the thing with this new format as well. There is going to be like lots of really good games. Like sometimes you have to wait, really, don't you, until the knockouts to get the teams against each other. Now there's going to be good games left, right, and centre.
Do you prefer this format, Dan, or not? I know you're not.
I prefer it for Villa.
Yeah.
Villa being in it, I think it's better for Villa. Bayern Munich, of course. Villa beaten Bayern Munich in 1982 in the European Cup final. I reckon
it's going to be Bayern.
You'd think we'd come out in one of the first 2 or 3 foreign teams, wouldn't you? What's Ronaldo going to do for us here? Paris, Barcelona, Benfica.
Press that button, Cristiano. Come on.
I'll read that. Oh, we're not coming out, Joe. Oh, we are. We're there at the end. Bayern's last game will be Aston Villa away at Villa Park. Unbelievable. Bayern Munich at Villa Park, Jacob. What's your initial reaction to that?
Excellent final game. I would have rather have gone away, but what?
Nah, not last. If we need something, you want to be at Villa Park, don't you?
If Villa are still in for a shout with it, that'll be great.
Mate, we'll get in the top 24. I'm very confident of that. Bayern Munich at Villa Park. I would have thought they'd have had to have dropped down to the Europa League or the Europa Conference League if you'd have told me 3 years ago that Villa are playing Bayern Munich at Villa Park. I'd have thought, what's happened to them?
And listen, you're Bayern. They're there to be got, aren't they? They've got
Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, exactly. They're not the Bayern of old.
No, really.
Why not?
Harry Kane. Who's this now?
There we go.
Leipzig. Villa have, of course, played a friendly in 2019 at Leipzig. Friend of the channel, Conor Harahan, scoring twice.
Great knowledge.
What does this mean? Tom SSSS, the fixtures aren't chosen until Saturday. Oh, bloody hell. We've made a mistake, Jacob.
Oh, do you know what? I should have picked up on that because I read an article this morning. For some reason, they decided it's sometime Saturday.
Well, great. Well, we've got Leipzig as well. We'll be playing Leipzig away at some point.
Why don't they just do it?
Yeah, why is that just not the order?
Sorry, guys, for not knowing.
No, that's all right. It's not half.
So,
it's very confusing, in fairness. So Villa so far will be playing Bayern Munich at some point at Villa Park and Leipzig away.
2 German teams. Nice.
I've lost what have I done? I'm trying to read text messages coming in at the same time. I'm not capable of doing that, so people will have to wait.
Do you know what? I think that's quite nice. I think going to Leipzig would be a nice, good trip, and also having a European powerhouse at Villa Parks. It's always good. Dortmund next. In
fairness, previous podcast host with me on this channel, Tom Julian, works for the Bundesliga, so I'd like to think maybe there's something that could be done there. All I'm doing through this tour is thinking, how can I get myself to one of these games? We're not playing Dortmund.
No, we can't have
No Dortmund.
Have a third German team.
Yeah, you couldn't have had 3 German teams, could you? It just wouldn't have worked. CC's asking what's the reason for it not being in the order. As you can tell by us thinking it was the order, we're asking the wrong people.
What I would say is go read Peter Rutz's explain on the Athletic. It's really detailed, and it's a fair play to him for going to the lengths he has to explain it all so clearly. Just a shame I couldn't remember.
He's good, isn't he, Peter Rutzler? I never actually worked with him when I was in my 3 years at the Athletic, but he's good.
No,
is Paris Saint-Germain one of his teams at the Athletic now?
He did, did PSG for the last 2 years.
Wrexham as well, have I imagined? Is that someone else?
No, that's someone else, yeah.
Okay.
Well, a pretty different gig from PSG to Wrexham.
Two household names in the game at the moment, Jacob.
Clearly.
Right, Barcelona. This is.
Oh, come on.
I'd like Barca or Real Madrid. I really would. Maybe in a way prefer Barcelona because they're not as good as Real Madrid. We already know Barcelona will be playing Dortmund and Bayern. Right, so we're adding into the mix Atalanta, Benfica, Young Boys, some Czech team I can't pronounce, Brest, Monaco. There will be no Barcelona.
Oh.
We will not be going to the Nou Camp, confirmed. Well, we might be at some point, but in the group stage, we will not be going to the Nou Camp, Jacob.
Do you know what? Been there a few times.
Fine. I've been around. I've just realised I've been to the Bernabeu, not the Nou Camp. Oh. I have watched Barcelona play live with Lionel Messi and his pom, though, at Stamford Bridge.
And also, you got Real Madrid, bigger superstars at the moment, isn't it? Well, here we go, Real Madrid.
Which is the one you want with Bellingham, really.
Here we go. They're being drawn now.
Why is yours ahead of mine? Am I not live?
Buffon's, yeah.
Buffon's thinking, I wish I'd played long enough to play at Villa Park.
Buffon's thinking, I wish I was just pressing the buttons like Ronaldo.
Yeah, they've given Buffon the harder job of the two there. They had some good battles in the Champions League, Buffon and Ronaldo, didn't they? And then, of course, ended up playing together as well. Here we go. Real Madrid, Dortmund, Liverpool, Milan, Atalanta, Salzburg. Can't read who that is. Stuttgart and Brest. No Real Madrid. No. So that means there's a pretty good chance that we'll be getting Atleti or Girona, you would say?
Yeah.
Or will we get both? I'm not sure how it works.
PSG? Is they a show?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking because two Spanish teams have come out and we haven't got them, we could be getting Atleti or...
Oh, I tell you, I'd like Atleti, wouldn't you?
Yeah, their ground's class.
Yeah.
2,887 people watching, Jacob.
What, is that not across all platforms?
Across all platforms.
Oh, fantastic.
Multi-platform channel. We read the chat, Matt Hands. What are you... Oh, we can't play any of these teams until they get to pot 2. Yeah. I mean, our naivety has really been shown up here. Thank you, Matt Hands. Safe pair of hands in the chat. Yeah, it's a valid point. A lot of people flagging us up that we've drawn our 2 pot 1 teams, so we wouldn't be playing anyone else in pot 1. Atleti in pot 1 and then pot 2. People are saying tough draw for Liverpool.
Mm. Celtic have actually had quite a nice draw so far. They've got Leipzig and Dortmund from pot 1. Okay. Not too bad for them.
Yeah, a lot of people telling us you can only get 2 per pot. I just lost track of the pots. That's sometimes that can happen in a Champions League draw.
Okay.
Let's go down and just look at pot. Where's pot 2? On the way, here we go. Some big boys in pot 2 still, though, Jacob, to come out. Leverkusen, Atleti, Juve.
That's what I mean. I like Atleti.
Milan. So, there's still going to be...
PSG got Man City and Bayern Munich and Atleti and Arsenal. Oof.
Train Spotter 123 says, are you both in some old shabby hotels? It's not very nice. I'm in the Hilton. I'm in the Hilton. Jacob, not even in a hotel.
I'm in Richmond, thank you very much.
In Richmond, where home of Ted Lasso and AFC Richmond.
That's tough for PSG, isn't it? See that?
I did just miss it, if I'm being honest.
City, Bayern Munich, Atleti, and Arsenal. What do you think? What do you think Monchi and Vidagani are thinking so far?
I think they're thinking, we've done well here. We've done well. We've progressed the club quite nicely with the help of our friend Unai.
I like how Unai's not there. Fully focused.
The managers never go, do they? The managers never go.
He's probably watching Leicester.
Ian Taylor's miles off a call up if Elmo's not gone. Jack Baggett says favourable draw for us. Agent Cooper says the Weiser Leipzig is a disappointing away pot 1 match after all this time away.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. I'm quite happy with going to Leipzig, obviously, because been there before. But considering it's the Champions League, he probably would want one of the bigger, power hitters, I guess.
Pot 2. No, I didn't touch my phone long enough. I do think though that's offset by Bayern Munich at home.
Yeah, true.
Producers texting us. We always have to check. Oh no, he's leaving the office. Everything's going to set on fire. I'm now in charge of the feed.
God.
Worrying times, I'm not going to lie.
Would you take Atalanta?
What are my options here? If I could pick 2. I'd want Atleti. Probably Atleti and Milan.
Yeah. Nice.
But would be happy with Juve, Leverkusen.
I think pot 2 all looks quite nice. I wouldn't really be a big fan of Club Brugge, but
Benfica, Portugal's nice. Yeah, Bayern Munich at home. And let's just go back to talking about that. That is a monumental tie.
Can you just imagine what it's going to be like before kick-off when they come out?
I'm going to cry. I will cry.
even with the new finesse Champions League.
I'm a little bit disappointed. They better not have damaged it too much. Then
it's not too bad, but it does. It's not quite as hefty as it used to be. It's a little bit more.
Of course, they changed it when Villa entered the Champions League. Of course, they could, because they got a new format. I bet they were like, we need to do something to the anthem.
I think they told the guy who was in charge of creating the music or whatever to revamp it, to modernise it. And that was simply the remit. Just leave it alone.
World class. It is world class.
Oh, here we go. Pot 2 starting now. Atleti drawing their opponents.
Why are yours ahead of mine?
I'm watching on the table bit on the UEFA app.
Oh.
So it's not. It's ahead of Buffon, basically.
Where's that?
If you come out of the full screen.
I'm out of full screen. I'm just on pots of results at the moment.
Scroll down to Atleti.
It's a long way down, Jacob. Oh yeah, here we go.
So Atleti got Leipzig, PSG.
So we already knew that.
Leverkusen, Benfica, Lille, Salzburg.
No Atleti.
And Sparta Praga.
Yeah, no Atleti.
No.
What's that stadium called? The Wonder something, is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know either.
No, I was just trying to think.
It's called. They've definitely got the word wonder in it. I know that.
Someone.
No Atleti. I'd have liked them.
What's everyone thinking in the comments? Are they thinking?
I'd like to see Griezmann live. He's one of my favourite footballers. Yeah, from a favourable draw point of view, it's probably good that we haven't got them because they're probably the strongest team in there.
That's true. So I said we'll play the big ones in the knockout route.
That's true.
Why sad? Good confidence.
Atalanta next, already playing Real Madrid and Barcelona. The Wanda Metropolitana. Oh God, man, been up since 5. Give me some slack cut. Atalanta, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Shakhtar, Celtic, Young Boys, Sturm Graz, Stuttgart. No Atalanta. To be fair, in Europe they're pretty good, aren't they, Atalanta? They've been around the block in Europe in the recent years.
And stylistically, it's such a tough team. Like they press so high in their 3-4-3. Like yeah. I really like watching Atalanta play as well. They obviously did excellently last season as well. Yeah, good team.
Club Brugge next. We're going to get Club Brugge, aren't we? Bit of a non-tie. Not a non-tie, but you know what I mean.
No, but it doesn't, like you said, it's not a Champions League tie, is it? It doesn't feel like that, but we'll see.
Elliot Harrison, shall I spell it phonetically for you? Yes, please. Oh no, what's happened to my feed? My feed's got an advert come up. Why has that happened?
What? What are you watching on?
That's the same as you.
The Club Brugge have already got Dortmund and Man City.
Yeah.
From pot 1.
Bruges away, everyone's saying.
Juventus, Milan, Sporting Lisbon, Celtic,
Villa,
Aston Villa.
There you go. In fairness, I've been to Bruges. Lovely place of the world. Lovely part of the world, sorry.
The Club Brugge away for Villa.
Anyone thinking of going, please don't trash Bruges. Let's behave if we're away. If we're away in nice places. It's not St Andrews. Let's keep Bruges nice.
I'm just quite glad Legia Warsaw are on the round.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, we don't want to be going there anytime soon.
Right, Leverkusen.
This wouldn't be a bad one. Into Liverpool and Atleti, they've already got 3 tough games. Leverkusen, to be fair.
No doubt, Villa will be 1-0 up against Leverkusen and lose 2-1 in additional time. The way they go about it.
Yeah, be good to play them.
Yeah.
Bailey going back to his old club potentially. This will be
Jeremy
at home.
Frimpong.
This will be at home, won't it? If we get them.
Yeah.
Bailey seeing some old friends then.
No Leverkusen.
No Leverkusen either. But from a avoiding teams kind of way, I feel like we're doing okay.
I think really done.
I don't know whether that's what I said at the start. It's not really what I wanted. I just wanted big teams. Arsenal next, so we know we
maybe you
one.
can. The bigger teams can come later in the competition, but
still got
Bayern Munich still big.
Yeah, still got a potential Juve and AC Milan at home to come here as well.
Yeah,
just thinking all these teams that at some point, or even at now, I've had their shirts. I definitely had a Milan shirt when I was younger. I've definitely got a Juventus shirt at the moment. I've got an Atleti shirt. You know, all these teams. Bayern, I've got last season's shirt. You know. Juve, Benfica, Shakhtar or Milan at home. Shakhtar would be a bit disappointing at this point.
It's actually a good atmosphere there, isn't it? Obviously, you can't play there, but
Arsenal have been drawn. They've got a nice looking. I think that's a nice run of fixtures for Arsenal there, either.
Yeah.
Benfica then next, who are already playing Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Atleti. I've just got a feeling for Juve at home because of Duggar. I did say that at the start.
You did.
Stream down for Richard Hewson. Not for me just yet.
No
Benfica. It's going to be Juve, isn't it? You don't want Shakhtar at home at this point. Where are Shakhtar even playing their games at the moment?
Do you know, I was literally about to Google that because I thought it'd be tough.
I know they were playing in neutral territory for obvious reasons. Milan, I definitely wouldn't say no to Milan at home. That's a shame Olivier Giroud doesn't play for them anymore because what a guy. Although he did always used to score against us, so that's probably a good job.
As of April 2024, Shakhtar are playing at Hamburg SC.
Elliot Harris has just put Poland in the chat.
Oh,
no Milan. So that means it's going to be Juve or Shakhtar at Villa Park.
Oh, I love Juve.
Come on, be Juve. Let's show Dougie what he's missing. Come on.
There you go, Milan.
Juventus then next. Buffon's just pulled out Juventus. I can't find Juventus on the thing that Jacob told me.
I've got them. Juventus got.
Here we go.
So Juventus has got Man City, Leipzig, Benfica, Club Brugge.
Come on, let's have a trip to Villa Park.
Juventus.
Is it? What are you ahead of me? I called it right. I called it right. I did say Juventus at home. Douglas Luiz will be absolutely buzzing, I imagine. Big, that is. Juventus and Bayern Munich at Villa Park.
Cool.
That is some mouth-watering fixtures there.
Wow.
That is big.
So Villa have got Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Juve, and Club Brugge so far.
Suddenly, when I said I felt like it was quite favourable to us, and suddenly it doesn't feel that favourable, actually.
But listen, Bayern Munich and Juve obviously massive powerhouses, but they can be quite brittle, can't they? Can't be vulnerable away from home. So, they're not indestructible.
No, and that is pot 2 done. Jacob and I know the rules now, so.
Oh, good to.
Pot
now
2
it's just. Where are you on your stream? Ronaldo's just having a little joke with Buffon about something.
No, I'm not there. You're ahead of me.
A nice rehearsed line.
Keep pressing live, but you still seem to be ahead of me. I am on hotel. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm streaming a show from
lovely hotel.
8 meg Wi-Fi, so this is absolutely incredible.
Shakhtar have been drawn now.
Just to keep an update on the numbers, 3,320, Jacob, are watching us live. Really amazing. 3,000 on Twitter.
Well, thank you.
Unbelievable. My feed's just gone again. I've got another advert coming up. You don't seem to be getting adverts.
You sure it's not the Hilton Hotel Wi-Fi?
No, it's adverts. Still 0 watching on Twitch for those that are interested. 5 on Facebook. Hello to the 5 people on watching us on Facebook right now. I don't believe that only 256 are watching on YouTube. Surely that's the main source of viewership normally. That can't be right. I don't believe those numbers. In fact, I'm going to go onto YouTube and have a look. Just keep us filled in, Jacob.
They're just giving a current roundup of the pot 2 fixtures.
No, that is right. There is 261 watching on YouTube. Where is everyone on YouTube? They must all be tuned into Neil on Paul McGrath.
They're probably on Twitter, aren't they? But they want to keep us on one side of the screen while scrolling through there.
Maybe it's not good for views on YouTube though at all.
Like they're just coming up for all the pot 3 teams now.
Right now, yeah. Have you just had pot 3 graphic come up?
Yep.
Me too. That's Feyenoord. I don't want to say that badge after the early news.
The Gertrude derby.
It's not great when we need to try, if we want to try and get Gertrude done. All the people that would do it are sat watching the Champions League draw, which isn't really ideal.
It's like when Monchi goes to the pre-season tours of like the States and stuff. I always think, fair enough for going and going to the games at Warsaw, but maybe it could be somewhere else. But he seems to be on his phone. There
must not be people there that the second in command. I don't know.
Yeah, Monchi, Villagani are the guys you go to.
Julian Cumberbatch, YouTube viewer here, laptop on the draw.
Love it.
Neil's got 364 watching, apparently, according to Simon Keller. But I'm not that bothered because, 3,425 overall is pretty good numbers, in fairness.
So come on then, Dan. Who would you want from pot 3 here, mate?
Who's in pot 3, Jacob?
Finals, Sporting Lisbon, PSV, Lille again. Oof. Salzburg, Young Boys.
Feyenoord wouldn't surprise me given what's going on in the transfer market at the moment. I've been to Sporting's ground before to watch AC/DC.
You're an AC/DC fan?
Well, I wasn't. I went because my mates were going, and then now I do quite like them. I didn't really know any of the songs when I went to the Sporting ground to watch them.
I think my parents have seen them 6 times. So
I've seen them twice. I've seen them in Prague as well.
Oh, Buffon's just been told how to swirl the balls. He's drawn out Young Boys.
Could be Celtic here, I think.
Young Boys first out.
Young Boys, let's go down. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. And again, I did it twice. It's not me, actually. It's my internet. That's good to know. But I'd rather the internet went wrong on the phone rather than the live stream. Young Boys have already got into Barca, Atalanta, and
Aston Villa at home. Young Boys away with Villa. I've got.
Nice little trip to Switzerland for the Villa fans.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice trip.
So far, where are we going away? Leipzig,
Bruges, and Young Boys.
The feed keeps going down for me. You okay still?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So it could be is that Lille? Did I just say next?
Yeah. Lille's
we've already played them and struggled through. This is the thing with Villa. We'll probably struggle against like one of those teams, but beat Bayern.
No Lille.
No Lille.
With Lille as well, probably Emi Martinez is probably thankful he's not going back there.
No, it wouldn't have been great, would it? Wouldn't have been great at all for old Emma. PSV?
Went there. No, we didn't went to Alkmaar, didn't we? I've been to PSV before.
Who's it PSV nowadays player-wise?
God. One of the De Jongs probably again, as usual.
There's always a De Jong at PSV, isn't there? Just waiting for the draw. People listening back to this on audio, there's a lot of silences from us. We probably need to fill a bit better, Jacob.
Yeah,
no PSV. No PSV for Villa. Who have we got now? Who's this? Feyenoord. It's going to be Feyenoord. Although, oh no, it's still 2 teams to come in pot 4 for them. No, not Feyenoord.
You're now ahead of me.
Come on. Elliot Harris, this has been a good draw so far.
Yeah, realistically, Dan, what's your favourite away, Dave, that you think you would want to go to if you can only pick one?
Now in the Champions League?
Yeah.
I would fancy Dortmund away, to be fair. I would have fancied that.
Yeah.
Not so into Dynamo away, to be honest.
I quite like the thought of young boys, you know. I think it'd be nice trip.
Yeah.
Winnable, of course. Not Dynamo.
So this would be at home if we were to
no Dynamo.
No Dynamo. Who's left, Jacob?
Salzburg.
Salzburg. My mum's been there recently. My mum. We couldn't.
Sporting.
Sporting. Are they in pot 3?
Yeah.
Are they?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, because I spoke about AC/DC. Yeah, that makes sense. But this is at home, isn't it? Whoever we get in this pot now will be at home.
Yeah.
It's not. Is this a real team?
It's Red Star Belgrade, basically.
Why are they called a different name here?
Kostin Dalkovic's team. No Red Star.
No Red Star.
That's fine, but
trip to Serbia.
Fine by me.
Well, no, sir. I know it wouldn't have been. It would have been at home, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's looking increasingly like Celtic, isn't it?
You called that before, Angelo. Right? Who's been pulled up now?
Could be
Salzburg.
It's not Salzburg. It's going to be Celtic. I've made 2 uncanny predictions there. If this is what happens, God, Celtic at Villa Park would be lively. Pray for the police.
No Salzburg. What's the chat saying? Are they happy with it, or are they just?
It's Celtic or Sporting now, so we know we're playing Celtic or Sporting at home.
Celtic have been drawn out next.
Yeah. Oh God. Someone who works at Villa supports Celtic, don't they? As well, they'll be happy with that. If it's to be, it's going to be, isn't it?
Oh, press the button, Ronaldo.
Yep, Celtic.
Yep. There's also a Celtic fan, I believe, in the press pack as well. So that'd be
John McGinn's a Celtic fan. Wow. Celtic at Villa Park. I'm not sure what I make of that at all.
Villa's got a new security team. They've got to be ready for that.
Oh, yeah. God. Well, we will have to be worrying about more than the toilets overflowing against Celtic at home. Stan Petrov derby. Aaron Jones, like it very much. The Didier Agath derby as well. So that's Villa done. So who in pot 3 did we get? I've forgotten who we got away.
So Villa,
young boys.
Yeah,
young boys. So do you want to give a rundown, Jacob, of who Villa have got so far? Then
the Villa have got Bayern Munich, Leipzig, Juve, Club Brugge, Celtic, and Young Boys.
Okay. Brendan Rodgers, of course, in charge of the Alan Thompson derby. I'm loving all these kind of.
You know, there's a lot of good winnable games there.
Chris Sutton derby.
Yeah.
As well, Chris Sutton brief spell at Villa Park. I'm trying to think of any more. Obviously, Tommy Johnson derby. Love that Simon Thake, one of my favourite ever Villa players. Might get out the Tommy Johnson 95-96 away shirt for that game.
Someone says, I wouldn't be in the least bit worried about Celtic.
From a footballing perspective, probably not. But
yeah. Dion Dublin. Yeah, niche. Good shout.
Absolutely niche here. Is there any other derbies, the teams that we've been drawn against? Right, Hitzelsberger was briefly at Bayern, the Thomas Hitzelsberger derby. He left at 17 without telling them.
Right. Let's go through pot 4 now.
Young Boys. Anyone play for Villa and Young Boys? Sinisalo in goal for Celtic, although I think he's number 2, so he probably won't play.
That's Schmeichel. Here's Aston Villa on the montage. Nice video of John McGinn scoring.
Shall I make my predictions for pot 4?
Go on.
It's been good so far. Pot 4, Villa will get. I think I'm going to put Stuttgart into the universe. Stuttgart away would be ideal for me. I think Stuttgart and Sparta Prague.
I think Sturm Graz.
Okay. The Tonev derby. Who did he play for? Who did Tonev play for?
Alan
Oh,
McInally.
Celtic. Did Tonev play for Celtic? Have I completely imagined that? You probably don't even know who Tonev is, Jacob. He made such a little impact at the club under Paul Lambert.
Don't really know.
Christopher Trotter.
Oh, is there under Paul Lambert?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
We can't get German clubs. Thank you, Christopher Trotter.
Yeah.
I really need to be reined in on this.
So your Stuttgart predictions out the window.
It's out the window. No trip to Stuttgart. Maybe Bologna then. Can we play another Italian team? I think we can.
Yep.
Go on, I'll throw Bologna in instead. Yelling Junior winner in the last minute, no doubt.
Bit like the Cameron Archer issue last year.
I'm still trying to think of more Celtic and Villa players, to be honest. Someone said Cascarena. That's a bit before my time.
Yeah.
So
Stuttgart have got Sparta Prague and Bratislava. So the more forgettable games in pot 4 for them.
Yeah. Villa have played Bratislava before, I'm pretty sure. Like 93, maybe 94 at a push.
Girona coming out next, drawing opponents.
Good team nowadays, Girona, aren't they?
Yeah, nice place. Douglas Luiz's old team again.
Yeah, could be Douglas Luiz could be having 2 homecomings there if Juventus were to get drawn against them.
I don't think they did.
No Girona for us. Scott Sinclair, like it. Celtic.
Bratislava and Sturm Graz.
Any more Celtic? Anyone? This is a fun game. Can't think I like doing. Can't think I do when I can't sleep at night. I play these little games in my head, which is quite sad.
You don't get your girlfriend to join in, do you?
No, she wouldn't be much help. She's always asleep.
Bologna have come out.
Bologna, there. I could say this. I can say this. Oh God, I'm trying to move down to that thing that you're looking at.
Bologna at home.
That's called Bologna, to be fair. When I realised we couldn't play Stuttgart.
Nice.
Bologna at home. Yelling Junior. So only one more fixture left, if my memory serves me correctly, for Villa to be drawn out now, Jacob, an away game.
Yep. 2 away games. So far, the away games are Young Boys, Club Brugge and Leipzig. The home games for Villa are obviously now complete. Bologna, Celtic, Bayern Munich and Juve.
Okay, no Brest for Villa.
No Brest.
No Brest. They've drawn Sturm Graz and Sparta. Now Villa are being drawn, so we will find out who we have as our last away game.
Is it Monaco? It must be Monaco, right?
Monaco's too nice for us Villa fans. I don't think we should be going there. Monaco it is. Monaco away.
Monaco away.
Jeez, there's some games here, isn't there?
Woohoo.
Sean Maloney in the Celtic. Someone still, Tom SSSS still playing.
Monchi and Vidagani are smiling. No wonder.
Well, there we go then. We know, Jacob, who Aston Villa will be playing in the Champions League. Bayern Munich at home, Leipzig away, Juventus at home, Club Brugge away, Celtic at home, Young Boys away, Bologna at home, and Monaco away. What's your instant reaction to that run of games in the Champions League for Villa, Jacob?
Do you know what? I think Villa have got a good mix. Obviously, got the powerhouses in Juve and Bayern Munich, but they've also got some really winnable games. Obviously, them two are powerhouses, but they're vulnerable, like we said. And there's some nice away trips to Switzerland, to Monaco. You might have to get your suit press and your bow tie out, but that should be lovely. I think it's a really good mix, really. And you've kind of avoided the less glamorous pot 4s, I guess, in some ways, like the Bratislava as well. Yeah. So I think it's a good draw overall. I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks.
Should we do an early go through the teams and how many points Villa going to get, Joe?
We'll do a little prediction, shall we?
Yeah, go on. There's a Bayern Munich at home.
Draw for me.
3 points for Aston Villa Football Club.
Leipzig away.
I'm going to go nil point.
I'll go for a win as well.
No, so you'll say, so we both think Villa will get 3 points from the two games that we've mentioned.
4 points.
Juventus at home, I'll go for a draw.
Juve win. I think Villa will lose at some point.
So that's 4 points.
4 points each?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I've had Villa to beat Bayern, lose to Leipzig, and beat Juve. What have you had?
I've had Bayern draw against Bayern, beat Leipzig, and lose to Juve.
I did that wrong. I said mine wrong. I had Villa to beat Bayern, lose to Leipzig, and draw with Juve. Sorry. Club Brugge away. I'm going to go for 3 points for Villa.
Yeah, 3 points. I think that could be a really difficult one, though.
Yeah, 3 points for Villa. Celtic at home, another 3 point. I'm predicting too many wins there. Another 3 points. Young Boys away feels like a game we could potentially mess up, actually.
I generally think that will be a 0-0. That looks like a 0-0.
I was going to go for a draw there. And then Bologna at home.
Win that.
And then Monaco away, I'll go for a defeat.
Yeah, I'll go defeat too.
So that would be 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14. 14 points I've got Villa down as getting.
That's lovely, isn't it? That'd be enough.
That would get you into the top 24, I would think.
Yeah, job done. Bernabeu next after that. Easy.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, we're not going to end. We're saying that the fans aren't going to be going to an elite away ground there. Leipzig, I'm sure, is a lovely ground. You wouldn't class it as being an elite trip, would you? But the Bayern Munich and Juventus at home, I think, really makes up for that. And Celtic at home will obviously be very, very interesting as well.
If you asked Villa supporters, most of them, would they rather the big hitters at home or away? I think they'd all say home. So, yeah. I think it's a really good draw. Of course, you want someone away, but the winnable fixtures mean that if you go to the next phase of the competition, you can get that. So, I think it's really nice. And as Agent Cooper asked, no flights to Serbia or Eastern Europe, so don't have to go to Zrinski or anything like that now. So
I think there's a nice mix there, isn't there? I think, and you can get really excited about those home games and some brilliant trips. As well, not to the premium grounds, but some really interesting places that Villa fans haven't been before. So overall, I think I'm quite happy with that, Jacob. It's going to be some season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we can talk about the transfer window now. And we'll talk about it for the next 30 hours, but this is what football's all about. I think we get fixated on transfers, but just seeing your team in a European competition with all the suits of Cristiano Ronaldo pressing the button, I think it's a fantastic Aston Villa there, and hopefully it means that Villa can really progress, and they're not going to be going out anytime soon.
Yeah, right then. So here we go. The fixtures again, just to remind you one more time: Bayern Munich at home, Juventus at home, Leipzig away, Club Brugge away, Celtic at home, Bologna at home, Young Boys away, and Monaco away. Yep, I think that probably does us. Jacob, thank you for those that have joined us on today's impromptu stream. 3,821 of you watching, apparently. Thank you very much for coming in and listening to us and watching us. Hopefully we've provided some kind of entertainment and insight during the draw. Not so much insight, in fairness, because neither of us really knew how it worked. But hopefully we've provided something.
There was literally no insight. It was just two guys just trying to see what was happening in that draw. And apologies if you're listening on audio for the silence and two guys trying to work out what's happening. I really enjoyed that. And it's a very exciting next few months, isn't it?
Thank you for coming on with me, Jack. I mean, to be fair, this stream could now stay on all night with just a view on my hotel room because there's no producer and I've got to end it. So really anything could happen here. But thank you ever so much for watching, Jacob. Thank you again for joining me. Dave Reed and myself will be back doing a match preview tomorrow. I think we're going to try and do it together at Sky somewhere if we can. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, previewing Villa's game against Leicester. And of course, there'll be some Champions League previews coming soon as well. If I don't get us off air properly, apologies, but thank you very much. Everyone have a great evening. Go and get yourself a beer and celebrate the fact that Villa have just been drawn against teams in the Champions League football for us this season. Take care of the Villa.